Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute, but we are back. It is a new year. Happy 2026. And thank you all so much for being here. I know that we fell off a little bit at the end of last year, but I was literally so busy. I tried so hard to catch up, but I was like, it was crazy. So I think since last time we saw you, we had the spring splash with the Florida Springs Mermaids where I spoke there and had a makeup class. Thank you so much for everyone who attended. That's a tradition that I hope that I can keep every year if the Florida Springs Mermaids wants to bring me back. And I plan on having goodie bags and boxes for those of you that take the time out of your day to spend with me and attend my class. So thank you so much for doing that and everyone that was there. Then after Florida Springs Mermaids, we literally got our Patty Mermaid instructor. So I am officially a Patty Mermaid instructor, which is so cool. I got certified in Vero Beach from Brandy, the Vero Beach Mermaid, and Mermaid Freedive. So that is now under my belt. And then we also did Mermaids in Mexico with, again, Mermaid Freedive, Vero Beach Mermaid, and I got to go to the cenotes, which that has been a dream of mine forever. So it was so exciting to get to go there and swim in the cenotes. Brandy did a great job taking us all around, and it was just such a fun time. The Airbnb that she ended up booking was really cool. We could literally walk from the Airbnb to like down to the beach. We had a beautiful beach view in the mornings when we would do like breath work. It was just, it's a great time. So I was really excited to have that. And then now in 2026, we're getting booked up this year. We've got a couple of events coming up. You can check my Instagram for that, as well as we just got announced yesterday as one of the team members for the Mermaid Freedive annual mermaid event. So I'm really excited for that this year. Hope that I see a lot of you there. That being said, we are back. I'm so excited to be filming these videos for you all. Today I filmed my everyday kind of go-to makeup look. So if you see me out and about, I'm probably wearing something close to this, or if there's a day where I'm going to the Springs and I don't really have a lot of time to think and plan about what look I'm gonna do, or I can't decide, this is my go-to look. It looks beautiful underwater. There's several videos, if I can, I'll insert them here, where people are like, oh my God, your makeup looks so good. And it's me just doing this look. It just looks gorgeous underwater. So with that being said, thank you all so much for hanging out and being here with me. Can't wait to see what we do in the new year together. Let's get started on the video. Okay, so to get started, we already have our skin prep. I'm using the same prep stuff that I typically use. I will have everything linked down in the bottom bar. To save time, we're just gonna jump straight into the makeup. We are going to start with our primer first. I also just rearranged my vanity because I moved, so everything's kind of in a different spot now, but we're gonna start with our primer. As always, we are using the NYX the face glue primer. I still love this primer. I go back and forth with this one and then the e.l.f. primer, which is a dupe for the Milk Grip primer. I still think that hands down the NYX face glue primer is my favorite for longevity and just staying on and keeping the makeup on, especially underwater. And then I have a new foundation that I haven't tried before. This is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. I'm in the shade N2, so this is a neutral. And then I've got the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer that I'm trying out today, actually for the first time. So it's my typical makeup routine, but I am trying out a couple of new products. So for my tried and trues, you guys know that I love the Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear, or for a drugstore alternative, the L'Oreal Infallible. So these are also ones that I've tried that I love and that I keep in rotation, but I thought I'd give this new one a try. And like I said, this is brand new. As you can tell, it has not been used yet. So we're just gonna pump some of that out on my hand, and then we're gonna pick it up with the beauty sponge and go right in with it. I had actually ordered another one that I'm still waiting to come in because I went to my local Ulta, and when I tell you that every single foundation in that store was literally used. Every single one of them had been used. So I tried to order the color that I thought that I was gonna need based on the shades that they had in the store, and it definitely is gonna be too dark because I then went to a Target, and the Target actually had sample like tester bottles, which was really nice. I tried a few and realized that this is probably the shade that I need. If I need to darken it up some, it's a lot easier to darken up makeup with a little bit of a powder or a bronzer than it is to lighten that makeup up. So I am just tapping this all over my face. I'm really excited to be filming again. I mean, this is my very first video of 2026. I can't believe that it's 2026. So it definitely does give like a nice coverage, and I don't feel like we had to use that much of it to get like this full coverage on my face. So I think that looks great, actually. So happy with that. We're gonna go in with the Neutrogena. This is the Radiant Concealer. I think this is a dupe for the NARS Radiant Concealer, and this shade is in Ivory 1. So So we'll see how this looks. I do like the little doe foot applicator that they have. I think that looks pretty nice. I think it's working pretty nice. But I'm really excited to be back filming videos, and please make sure that you all are following me on Instagram if you're not already. We will have all of the polls for the weekly videos in stories. And then I'm hoping, if I can swing it, that I'm gonna actually be doing 2 videos a week. So I'll have my Mermaid Makeup Mondays on Mondays, of course. And then we will go and have a second video, which I'm kind of hoping to be a little bit more like maybe some DIY videos, some like maybe vlog type videos. I'm not really sure just yet, but I thought it would be fun just to throw an extra video in during the week, just to stuff that's not just completely makeup focused. And then I'm using a different side of my beauty sponge to tap all of this in. And like I said, everything will be listed down below, the links to, probably have it linked to Amazon. Okay, so now that we have our base on, I'm going in with my tried and true. If you've been here before, you know it's gonna be the Milani. This is in the shade Spilling Tea, I think, yes. I can't remember if it's spilling tea or spilling the tea, but it is a spilling tea. There is no the included. And I'm just gonna tap this in on my cheeks just to give us a little bit more of a sculpted look, and then we will buff this out. But right now I'm just trying to get the color pigment down. And then I like to put a little bit on the top of my forehead. I do have a more petite forehead, but I still like to add a little bit of shadow there. And then of course you all know I like to accentuate the jawline by going just like this and blending it down. And then without picking up any more product, I'm just gonna kind of diffuse this onto my face like so. I do like to use a cream blush as well, and this is going to be the L'Oreal Paris Lumi, and this is in the shade Glowy Gold Pink. So you all have to let me know in the comments down below what you're excited for this year, what you're looking forward to. I'm really excited for 2026 to just be a great year. I think it is the year of the horse, so if you're an astrology buff, you know, like the snake was last year and it was kind of shedding things that you didn't need in your life anymore, and now the horse is supposed to like move you forward in the direction that you were supposed to go. So I have seen a lot of stuff where for my personal zodiac, it's talking about like a homecoming, but it's like coming back to yourself and like who you always were. And so I love that, and I want to like hold that theme for the year. You can actually see back here, I have my vision board next to my bed. So I actually have 2 vision boards. So I have my personal vision board, which is the one that's back here, and then I have a mermaiding vision board, which I'm going to do that one. And I think if you guys are interested, I might film it and then upload that just as like one of those Wednesday videos that I was talking about. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and hopefully that is what we will do. Now I'm just picking up my L'Oreal Infallible powder. This is in the transparent pink, and I am just tapping that all on my under eye area, anywhere that I want it kind of like brightened up. If you guys have any like New Year's resolutions or anything that you know you want to achieve in the new year, or you know, maybe it's a health goal, maybe it's a financial goal, and some of those goals could just be like being more financially like responsible, or like bringing in extra money. Health goals can just be like simply going on like a walk every day. It doesn't have to be like a crazy goal. It can just be like 1% better each day. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we get lost in like New Year's resolutions have to be like these big like grandeur things, and they definitely can be. The sky is the limit, you know, but I think too that it's okay to have goals that are just like small, like 1% each day being better than you were yesterday. And I think sometimes that's where the magic happens. All right, so that is my brightening pink powder. You guys have seen me use that so many times. I love that powder. And I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the face powder, and mine is in the shade 220 Sand. So I'm just putting that everywhere. I did not highlight. And I've added a new step into my routine, so I will show you all that here momentarily. The other thing that you know that I love to do is to accentuate my bronzer. So since we did the cream bronzer, I am just gonna pick up I have a Hoola bronzer that I'm still going through. I still have my Juvia's that I'm using, but I'm trying to actually get rid of this. So this is a mini Hoola that I have that I'm just going to pack on top of everywhere that we put the cream bronzer, that Milani bronzer. And just make sure you're using a different brush, because you do not wanna use your cream brush on your powder product, because it'll like give you a little film on it. So yeah, just make sure you have a different brush for your powders and your creams. I always get like a little sweaty whenever I'm doing these videos, because I turn all the fans off so you guys can't hear the fan noises, because I literally have like two fans on in my room. But anyways, we're just out here sweating. So this is the new product that I added. It's new, but not new. It is the same L'Oreal Infallible Blur Powder, but this one actually is in just transparent. Yeah, transparent light is the one I'm using. And I'm gonna use that on a different puff sponge. And I'll have these sponges linked. I get a pack of them on Amazon, and that is what I like to grab. And I just kind of use this one to set everywhere else now instead of also using the pink one. You can still use the pink one if you watch my older videos. I definitely just use the pink everywhere, but I do kind of like to go in because I feel like this gives like a, I don't know, almost like a filter. I don't know how to explain it. I had used let my friend Star use my pink one, and then she got this one and I was like, damn, that looks good. So I picked this one up too. So now it's just like an additional one added to my arsenal. And I actually forgot to put blush on, so I'm gonna use some blush. And this is another product. You guys know I love my L'Oreal Infallible blushes, but I'm just trying to get rid of some stuff that I'm like almost done with, just so it's not taking up drawer space. And this is in the color Peaches from MAC. I don't even know if they still make this. This was one of my favorite blushes ever, and I need to go back into the store and see if they still even make this. It gives like a nice like healthy glow. I don't know, it gives like very much like that J-Lo like healthy high cheekbone kind of look. That's what I always think of when I think of like a really healthy glow. It's that. I'm sure there's a more updated reference, but I'm just kind of, you know, dating myself right now with who I'm using. And actually for underwater, you all know that I like it to be a little more oomph. So I'm gonna add some of that L'Oreal blush as well, just to give it a kick, because again, once you get underwater, water does like filter a lot of this. So I like to make sure there's stuff there. I'm constantly on camera. For those of you that don't know this, I actually stream full time as well. So I'm a big video game nerd. I have been my entire life, literally since I was like a little girl. My grandparents got me a console at a very, very young age. I think my first console was a Sega Genesis. So I have always been a gamer my entire life. Now it's trendy, which is really cool because I definitely got bullied for it as a kid. Yeah, so I stream on Twitch, and I am a glutton for pain. So the game that I stream is Dead by Daylight, if anyone knows what that is. I love the game, but it definitely is not your cozy casual. It's definitely not your cozy casual game. So anyways, now we're gonna go in and do our highlighter. So what I have been doing for my highlighter is two different things. I'm a really big fan of the Ofra Cosmetics highlighters. So this one is in the shade Rodeo Drive. I don't know if this one's still available. I'm being completely transparent with you. If it is, I'll link it down below, or I'll link something kind of similar. However, Ofra still makes beautiful, beautiful, beautiful highlighters. All of their highlighters are gorgeous. So just find one that you like. I just really like this brand and their formula. I think it is fantastic. And like you can see, like immediately putting that on, what that does just to pop. So I do that. And then the combo that I feel like always gets people asking, what am I using? I also use the Fenty Beauty, and this is in the How Many Carats. Mine is like come off the little thing, but it's still in good condition. But I use my finger to tap that into my skin and just really illuminate my cheeks. There's a couple of my videos where people always ask me like, oh my God, what is your highlighter? What is that? And it is this combo right here. Now that that is on, we are gonna move on to our eyes as always. And like I said, this is my go-to everyday eye look. So I'm gonna grab what I normally use. So this is like a really, hello, what are you doing? My hair's been crazy. This is like my go-to like every day if I'm going out, or if I like just want a neutral look for a tail. This is my go-to eyeshadow look. It is this Juvia's Place palette. It's the Nubian Earth, I think is how you say it. It's this one right here. It looks like this. And I don't know why I always keep these things in there, but the palette is these colors. You all know that I am a gold girly. And those of you that don't know, Escala, my favorite tail, I'll forever cry, scream, and throw up at the fact that I will never own the silicone. Maybe one day. Caroline, if you're watching, I will give you whatever you want. But that is like holy grail tail. It was my dream tail. So as you know, like these are my color palettes, and so I use these two, like a couple from each one. This one is the e.l.f. Ombre 10. So this is what it looks like on the back. I think that's the name of it. I'm not totally sure, but this is what the colors look like. So it's still another neutral. I just like the brow shades for highlighting in that palette, so I use those two together. And this is literally like if I'm going somewhere, I don't know what I'm grabbing, if I'm traveling, I take these two with me pretty much all the time. And first thing is first, we're gonna start with our brows and then immediately go into our eyeshadow base. And as you all know, my tried and true Anastasia pomade, and then this is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. So those are still my ride or dies currently. I'm kind of interested in switching both of these products up, just to be completely transparent. Not because they don't work, but I'm just, you know, when you use something for a long time and you just kind of get bored of it, that's where I'm at. So I'm like, okay, I kind of want to try something a little new, a little different. Something else I'm thinking about doing is whacking off the end of my eyebrow. Would it be the craziest thing that I've done? I think once upon a time when I had white platinum hair, I did bleach my eyebrows, and I still to this day think that was the craziest thing that I've probably done with my brows. It was not cute, to say the least, but I'm thinking, like, you know what I mean, to have like that straight out brow look, you know, like the little snatch, like you can pull this and it's like, no, I'm talking about, I think it's like the fox eye. So I'm thinking about that. So if y'all see me running around looking a little crazy one day and you're like, what happened? It was probably my eyebrows, and I probably decided to whack the tail of my eyebrow off. Which it makes me nervous sometimes though, because I've heard that they just like won't grow back. So I don't know. We shall see. And you know how at the end of the video, we always end up doing like a crown and everything, like for the mermaid makeup look? I am so excited because this will be the first video that I show you guys my new crown that I got at the Ren Fair. I'm so stoked. I got it from the sweet Daniela Enchanted on Instagram. So this will be the first time I wear it in a video. I haven't even taken it underwater yet, because after Ren Fair, I did the mermaids in Mexico with Mermaid Freedive, and I did not want to take the crown there internationally for the first time just because I'd not worn it underwater yet. So I opted for my same shark tooth Merbella crown, and so yeah, I have not taken her in the water yet because I actually have not been in the water since I was in Mexico, which the cenotes were so beautiful. Oh my God, I want to go back so bad. It was just an incredible experience. I loved being there. It was so fun also just like getting to leave the Airbnb and like walk around, go to shops and eat, and I love walkable cities. I definitely would like to live in a walkable city, so maybe one day, we'll see. Also, if you guys got to see on my Instagram stories, I did get to meet Maureen there. Oh my God, she was incredible, so sweet. She's mermaid.ish on Instagram, and she owns House of Flynn. And I have always, like literally since I started mermaiding, I saw her mermaid bags and I was like, oh my God, I want one of these so bad. And so when I met her, I asked her, you know, if they were gonna plan on selling anymore. And she did in fact have some left in the warehouse. And if you all saw on Instagram, she did have some that I was able to get, and I was so excited, like literally dream bag. I was like, oh my God, that was so sweet of her. So again, in case Maureen ever watches this, thank you so much for that. That was incredible. And we got to swim together, which was really fun as well. So that was such a good time, and I couldn't even believe that. I think that I had one of those House of Flynn bags like on my vision board at one time, like not even joking. All right, so for eyeshadow, I'm gonna start, now that we've primed, I'm gonna start with the e.l.f. palette. I like to use this really light shade for like my everyday look. I like how it kind of just pops and really helps to accentuate the brow arch. So I'm putting this just on both sides. And then, because we want to be extra, I like to go in with that second shade. It's like a champagne shade. And I like to put just a little bit of it right on top. So it makes that pop just a little bit more. And I love a poppy brow moment. Like, it's my favorite. So then I'm going to switch over to the Juvia's Place, and I'm going to use this shade at the top as a blending shade. And as always, we want to start on the outside of the eye. We're going to go back and forth and do windshield wiper motions and little circles going upwards. But anytime we pick up more pigment to build that, we're going to place it down at the back of the eye and then work it forward, windshield wiper, little circles, just to make sure everything is blended. And this is just going to act as a more satin, actually, no, this one is a matte. It's not a satin, a matte base for the rest of our eyeshadow. I just thought it would be fun for you guys to see my like everyday versus like when I'm going for like a specific tail, just because this is like, especially if I'm like running late and I don't have a lot of time to like think about what I'm doing, this is like always my go-to. Then next I'm going to pick up this gold shade, which is probably one of my favorite golds out there. I'm going to start this on the inner corner for my eyelid, and I'm gonna carve up a little bit. Again, if I'm in a hurry and like on an everyday, I don't do the concealer thing, but that will help to kind of like cut and carve that out. If you want to take the time to do the concealer with this, it will make it a little bit more bold and more of a formal cut crease. So obviously if you have the time, don't be afraid to do that. But I'm just really trying to stay true to what I do on like a daily basis. And same thing on this side, and just filling her in. Like I said, I'll link everything down below and like the shades and the palettes that I use, or if I can't find them on Amazon, I'll link them wherever I can find them. But yeah, I just take this out past the middle of my eye, and I'm just using a flat packing brush, and I use the tip of it to keep carving out that more exaggerated eyelid. And then we're gonna go in with a tapered brush, which is, you guys have seen me use these all the time. And I'm gonna pick up this darkest brown shade here and just tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna start packing it, and we're doing that like less than, greater than symbol, or like a sideways V, and buffing up into the crease. And then taking it and blending it down into the lash line. I feel like it's almost too, like the lighting here where I've got my vanity now is a little too dark. I think I'm gonna have to get like a soft box or a ring light for this, just so you guys can see everything true to color, because it definitely, I feel like, is not showing up as well in the viewfinder at least, but maybe once I'm in post and editing it will be fine. What I'm looking forward to though is having videos like at the end of the year, doing a video a week and having 52 videos. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm looking forward to. So one of my big goals is to make sure that we have a video a week all year long. And like I said, please, please, please go follow me on Instagram. Vote on what tails you want to see. We are gonna stay with going through the Merfolk tails first. I'll try to get polls up on Monday on which one. I think what I'm gonna try to do is like when this video goes live, I'm gonna obviously post that it's live. And then after the post letting you guys know that the video is live, then I'm gonna go in and make the post for like, what do you guys wanna see next week? I think that's gonna be the typical order of operations. All right, so now what I normally do is I jump into my eyeliner, and you all know that I love this waterproof eyeliner from the Korean brand Heroin Make. And so I'm just going to start by establishing where I want my wing and drag that out. And then I like to look down into my mirror a little bit, since I do have like more of a hooded eye, and bring it over, connect it like so, and then we're just gonna fill it in. Oh, also, where are my Stranger Things people? Oh my god, I stayed up so late binging that. I also was literally today years old, which it's January 4th, when I found out that Steve, the guy that plays Steve, is the one that sings that song. I was just like, oh, I had no idea. I like saw something where I guess he like beat the chart for, he like beat Taylor Swift on the charts or something, and I had no clue that's who that was. Not a single clue, but you know what? The more you know, now we know. So, all right, same thing on this side. Just taking our eyeliner and establishing the line, trying to get it as even as possible, and then bringing it in all nice like. Also, another thing I really want to do in this year is get better about reading at least a book a month. Because what I'd like to do is make sure I'm reading one personal development book a month. I used to do that and I kind of fell off the bandwagon. And then have one like fun book a month. So that's kind of my goal. So I guess really it'd be like 2 books a month. We have eyeliner, and then we're gonna do our inner eyeliner, so on the tight line. And as always, my Makeup Forever is my tried and true for this, especially for waterproof. And we're just going to swiggity swooty all in that eyeliner tight line. I also still have my Christmas nails, and I think for next week's video you all will see my Christmas nails again because my nail appointment is not until like the week after. These are my Christmas nails. I think they turned out really cute. I love the Christmas tree, it's my favorite. And actually the star on top of it's a starfish, which is very on brand. Then I'm going to pick up that same darkest brown and I'm just going to run it along my lower lash line like this. Ta-da! I like to pick up that Ofra that we used on our cheeks. I like to pick that up and put that in my inner corners as well. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. And then on the tip of my nose, also down the bridge of my nose, like so. And then you all know that no mermaid makeup look is complete without our cute little white dots. So once I have that inner corner done, I will put white dots there. I like to put them along the tail of my eyeliner. And that's what I don't do a ton on like a normal, maybe one right here, right here. You can put some, just a little something extra when I'm like, again, this is like my everyday when I'm kind of in a hurry. For mascara, if I was going to get in the water, which I'm not today, I would be using the Extensionist from L'Oreal. This is in the waterproof, but because I'm not getting in the water, we're going to use my tried and true MAC Extended Play. I love this mascara so much. This is another one that like, honestly, I don't even know if they still make it. Yes, well, no, I didn't buy this one that long ago. I can't remember because every time I buy it, I buy a couple boxes. I don't trust MAC to not discontinue them. It's my favorite. If I ever got to the point, maybe this is just me manifesting, that I were to do a collab with MAC, I would want it to be a full collab with like mermaid inspired looks from anyone MAC that might be watching. We're thinking like some alluring aquatics, but I would want it to be with all of my favorite products that they've discontinued over the years. So that is what if I ever got to do like a partnership with MAC, that's what it would be. It would be something like that for sure. I'm just trying to clean up and put my makeup back. So here is that. So for liner, we're gonna use, this is the color Dearest from Morphe. I love this lip liner. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just gonna start underlining my lips like so, and then overlining my lips like this. So that's how I start off all my lip looks. And then we're just going to connect. Give it a nice fill in like so. The lipstick that I'm going to be using is going to be this NYX one in the Shine Loud, and this is, I think it's called Fierce Flirt is the shade. I think it's like a very pale color. I love the way it looks on my lips. So this one's probably my favorite out of all of the Shine Louds. NYX, please don't discontinue these. Keep them forever. Make more colors. I love these. They stay on so well. And then just topping it with the gloss. I love it. I feel like this Duo Active, I use this in the black. I think that this one works the best out of all of the lash glues personally for staying on in the water. And then I'm actually just gonna use these half lashes. These are the Eyelure London, and this is in the Luxe Faux Mink. I think these are Royal. I don't know. I can't ever tell what the names of things are anymore. But I do believe this set is Royal. God, you know when that song from Lorde came out, Royals? The number of people that sang that song to me all the time and just used my name instead of the word Royal. All the time. Actually, I worked in a salon at that point. I think I was working in a salon and I was doing makeup, and every day, because that song was everywhere. And I was like, my God, I'm never gonna escape it. I did in fact end up escaping it. But every so often somebody will still do that to me and I'm just like, not again. It's so funny. It is funny. All right, so we're just adding the glue to these little half lashes. I love a half lash moment, to be honest with you, because they just kind of stick in place a little bit better because they're not a full band, so they don't pop up. They just kind of are stuck in place. And we'll see where I'm gonna put these because I actually have not used this pair before, but I think mayhaps here. I don't know. What do we think? What do we think about that? Is there a little like straight out? I don't, I'm undecided. You guys will have to tell me what you think in the comments because I don't know how I feel about these. I'm not sure if I like them or not. They might have to grow on me. Weird dinosaur noises. That's why I get text messages from people like, have you ever been tested for autism? And I'm like, yes, I have. And surprise, I'm autistic. I don't think that's surprising to anybody if you actually know me. I don't know if I've talked about that actually before here. I always forget what I've talked about with you guys and what I talk about like with my stream on a daily basis, but I technically have what is considered ADHD. So little spicy like that, a little neuro spicy, if you would. What do you think? What do we think, chat? Wrong platform. This is my typical makeup look. Let's add the new crown so you guys can see it, and I'll be right back. Okay, like dead ass. The Lion King is playing in the other room, and the part where Simba is like walking up to Pride Rock like after defeating Scar is playing as I'm putting this on. And I'm sorry, but I think that is hilarious. Oh, my life is just magical. So dramatic. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways. All right, so here is my beautiful new crown. This is my new Morella from Danielle. So it is my Danielle Morella. And it's funny because she goes by Daniela on Instagram, so Daniela Morella. Anyways, so this is it. And this is my completed makeup look for my everyday makeup. I think it would look really good with the Scala. As you all know, that is my favorite tail, please. I still cry. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and this is the first one of the year. Like I said, my goal is for us to have 52 by the end of the year, so I'm really excited for that. Thank you all so freaking much for watching, and thank you. It was so sweet. I got so many messages on Instagram of people being like, are you bringing back the Mermaid Makeup Mondays? Are you bringing back the Mermaid Makeup Mondays? So we're here. So thank you all so much for your support. It really does mean the world to me. I appreciate it so much. If you aren't already following, make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.